We are VIMTV, Velocities in Music. Today we're going to review an album entitled Dedication by a guy who goes under the moniker of Zomby. Zomby is a UK dubstep, what is it, electronic engineer, producer, songwriter, I mean, however you want to dub them. But in Dedication is really... I think a lot of people like this album, and that's good, and I did enjoy this album. I found it relatively enjoyable, but it's just one of those albums where, straight up, I want to be upfront about this, it is what it is, and it's 16 tracks long, sometimes, and it's just a bunch of electronic ideas, where you'll have a lot of, Zomby, his focus here is to create a cool beat, an interesting beat, and then focus on production, as always with dubstep, and then also you'll have lots of electronic melodies, or maybe dual electronic melodies going on at the same time, and they'll repeat themselves, and then he messes around with some of the production effects that way. And it brings a cool effect. It's all about mood and presentation, but much more than that, there's not a lot here. It's a very minimal electronic sound.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of big washes of atmosphere. There's moments...
A lot of separation between what's going on between the tracks and in each track.
Yeah, and there's moments here where you get some atmosphere in there. But overall, that's not the primary focus of this album. The main thesis point is just the beats and the production and the electronic melody repetition. That's the main elements at play here. Now, when I gotta say, I loved this at first. I was listening to this, I was like, this is sweet. I mean, these sounds are really alluring, and you know, just how some of the songs transition and just the natural allure of all things dubstep is good. But it's limited too, because I felt like at listen 4, 5, 6, since we've had 3 weeks to listen to this. I just didn't get the same buzz off of it. It gets less and less thin. It does. Yeah. It's getting less and less appealing to me every time I listen to it, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and I feel pretty much exactly the same way. This album, while it's on, really cool, but it's just kind of like the album's happening, and then it just stops happening.
Right.
You're just done listening to it, and there you go. I mean, it's pretty good. Some tracks at the end, it almost sounds a lot like video game music.
It absolutely does.
Some of the tracks near the end, particularly A Devil Lay Here, and there was another one also. Reminds me of the old video game Doom, if you ever played that. I was hooked on that game when I was in elementary school, and if I just closed my eyes, I could picture myself shooting some monsters and stuff. And
some pixelated monsters.
Yeah, throwing a pixelated fireball at you. That's what I felt like. So it was kind of a nostalgia trip for me, but honestly, I mean, the problem I have is, obviously the production, for production not like me, it's just like candy. It's like, nom nom, really sharp, clear sounds, but the songwriting element isn't quite there. One thing I really appreciated about this album is the variety in track lengths. You got 16 tracks, a lot of them are shorter. You have a couple that are up to around 3 or 4 minutes, but I like that he had the tact to not develop each song to the same level. Right. Because I think some of the coolest sounds on here are in the 40 to 50 second tracks.
Right. And he didn't overdo it. He didn't take it to this point where it's like, oh my god, I'm sick of this.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like, here's a short, cool thing, and then the longer tracks start just as simple, but take it a little further. Right. And I really like that dynamic within the album, because it kind of alternates between them, and so it doesn't get quite as stale as it could.
Right. Yeah, and to me, because of all the things that you just said, I really feel like Zomby just shows this incredible amount of potential here, but it's not fully realized. I feel like these are more like artistic sketchings. Like, I have this book on M.C. Escher, the mathematician artist who does all the crazy drawings and stuff where you have the castle steps that never end. And I feel like, in this book you have these different sketchings of how he prepared these big masterpieces and lithographs that he made. And I feel like that's what this is. This is just Zomby sketching, in audio form, a masterpiece that he could make down the road. So I'm really going to watch this guy, see what he does in the future, but as of right now, I mean, I just am not sold on this. I like it, it's enjoyable, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm feeling a 66.
I'm going to meet you there, 66.
What do you guys think? Is this something that you thought was a lot deeper than what we're finding at it, or did you have similar experiences where you thought it was really cool sounds, but it gets kind of bland after the more listens you put into it, and the law of diminishing returns is definitely present here. What's your guys' opinion? www.velocitiesinmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesinmusic. Facebook, Twitter, do it, because it's what you want to do. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.